Hey there, what's up, everybody? Back to 1949 we go. We've got the Pirates here playing against the Reds in game one of a doubleheader. So you'll see game one today, and then after another 1908 game, you will see game two here as well. And let's go ahead and get going. Ken Raffensperger is going to take the man here for Cincinnati, 3-8, taking on Pittsburgh, who's 10-1 now. Of course, it was yesterday's game, April 30th, that Pittsburgh finally lost, and Castiglione hits one over to left field, and Rirostek has it for the first out. And here comes Ralph Kiner. I've done a little bit of messing around with the Pittsburgh lineup. I think I forgot to save it, but no problem, no worries. Kiner has a 1-1 count on him. Now it's 2-1 on him. And he pops one up, and Bloodworth has it for the out, the second baseman, 2 away. And here's Eddie Bachman, and he pops one up over behind the plate, and Mueller's got it, and we'll go to the bottom of the first. And here comes Cincinnati. Up to face against Murray Dickson is Jimmy Bloodworth, who fouls one off, a strike, and then takes the ball. 1-1 the count now on Bloodworth, and it's 2-1 now. He tries to hold up, gets a piece of that one, 2-2 now the count. There's a swing and a miss on a pitch that's low, and he strikes out, and up comes Danny Litweiler. Litweiler up there hitting 306 and takes the ball, 1-0 the count on him. There's a pitch that hits the strike zone just barely, 1-1, now 1-2 after a swing and a miss. And there's ball 2 to him, 2-2 now the count, and there's a breaking ball for strike 3. Dickson getting strikeout number 8 for him on the season, number 2 of this game. Here is Grady Hatton, and he takes a ball, 1-0 now the count on Grady, and there's one inside, 2-0 now. Curveball misses, 3-0 the count, and there's one sharply hit over, but to first base to Hop, and he flips it over to Dickson for the out. We go to the top of the second just like that, and here is Clyde McCulloch, who takes a strike, the catcher for the Pirates, and a ball 1-1 the count now on McCulloch. There's a ground ball over to shortstop to Stallcup, who makes the play, throws over to Kluszewski for the out. There's one away, and here's Monty Bascal. And he lines one over to third base, and Hatton jumps up and grabs it, snags that line drive 2 away, and here is Wally Judnich now. Judnich hitting only 231, which is why he's down in the order, and he takes a strike. And he winds up getting a base hit there between Merriman and Litweiler in right center field. That's going to be a double for Judnich, and that will bring up Wally Westlake, runner on second base, 2 outs here for the Pirates. Nothing ball game. Top of the second inning, just getting a start to it. And there is a hit through the hole into left field past Stallcup. Judnich is going to go for home. The question is, do we throw home? Of course we do with Rirostek. And we're not going to cut this to second base. And the throw is short, and Judnich scores, and Westlake able to go to second, and that brings up Johnny Hop now, running on second base, 1-0 Pirates. This is what the Pirates have done all year so far, and with the 0-1 pitch, Hop hits one over to third base where Hatton has it, throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Pirates, and here's Kluszewski. Fouls one off, 0-1 now the count on him, and there's a little comebacker over there down the first base line. Dickson goes over, grabs it, or tries to grab it, and doesn't quite grab it all the way. That's another pretty poor play that we've seen. I've seen sort of a rash of these poor plays here in the recent games, and this one it may just be actually the fact that I'm looking for it, I'm trying to notice it, but this play was particularly bad by the pitcher Dickson. That's going to be the first hit of the game here for Cincinnati, and Kluszewski's on at first base now. Not too much speed. We're not going to do too much running here. Of course, it's 1949. There's not a lot of stolen bases. Next batter, Stallcup, swings at the first pitch, hits it over to Bascal, flips over to Castiglione, but it's not hit hard enough for a double play. So Stallcup is at first base in the fielder's choice, and here's Ray Mueller with one out. And Mueller up there now takes a strike, hitting 240 this season. On-base percentage 240, slugging percentage 240. That's not much. 0-2 the count on him now. And 1-2 is he is able to lay off that one in the dirt. And that one's inside, but doesn't quite hit him. 2-2, and that's off the plate, full count now. And Dickson got him for a strikeout number 3 of the game. Up comes Rirostek. Rirostek now hitting 158 this season, and he grounds one over to Bascal. Monty throws over to first for the out. We go to the top of the third inning. That's the way that it's been here for the Reds so far. It feels like so many Reds games we played. 1-1 the count now on Murray Dickson, and there's a little foul ball over to the first base side, right side, and Kluszewski goes over and catches it for the first out. And here is Pete Castiglione. There's a breaking ball inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Now there's one foul back. 1-1 now on Castiglione. 2-1 now as that one is wide. And one's fouled back, 2-2, now the count, and remains 2-2. And there's a little ground ball over to Stallcup, and he can't quite make the play in time. Castiglione ends up safe at first base, and here comes Ralph Kiner, and he might punish you for that little mistake. 2-0 the count on Kiner. You don't want to do that to him, and that one's high. 3-0. He's going to take all the way here, and there's ball 4 to him, and Raffensperger has his first walk of the game. And that brings up Eddie Bachman. Now, I've put Eddie Bachman up here in the order just because he's hitting well. Let's see what happens. There's a strike to Bachman, 0-1 the count, and there's one fouled off. It's 0-2 now, and there's a fastball inside that misses, 1-2 now. And that's one that Miller's able just barely to block and stop from being a wild pitch. There's one foul back, 2-2 still the count now. It's off the plate, and it's 3-2. Let's see if Raffensperger can get him. Full count still. And that one's low, and Bachman holds back. And now the bases are loaded. Here's Clyde McCulloch again, hitting .268 this year, .415 slugging percentage with 1 home run, hitting fairly well for a catcher. And he hits one into right center field. And Merriman, fortunately for Cincinnati, is playing in the right place. And we will try to get Castiglione as he tries to score, and we're unable to. And that makes the score 2-0, just like that. It was Monty Bascal now with runners on first and second. There's a strike to Monty, 0-1 the count on him now. And a ball, 1-1. And there's one just barely foul line down the third base line. Hadden had no chance at that one if that was going to be fair. Next pitch is a ball, 2-2 the count now. And there's a ground ball on the right side. And that gets through for a base hit. And Kiner scores. And Bachman goes to third. Runners on first and third now. 3-0 Pirates. They look like they might run away with this one here early. Wally Jidnich now takes a strike. And there's another strike that was a little low and away, but still called a strike, 0-2. The defensive swing there, and that's head over to the second baseman Bloodworth, throws over to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the third. Lloyd Merriman, the center fielder, now up here for Cincinnati, who are down 3-0 with only 1 hit so far today. 1-2 is the count on Merriman, and he fouls another one off, and fouls one off again. And there's a ground ball over to Bascal, and he throws to first base for the first out. Here comes Ken Raffensperger, takes a ball. And there's one hit over in the air to Westlake in right field for the second out. And here comes Jimmy Bloodworth, who takes a ball. And there's a ground ball again to Bascal, who throws over to first base for the out. Very quiet for the Reds. We go to the top of the 4th inning, and here's Wally Westlake. And he hits one over to Raffensperger, right back to him, who throws it past Kluszewski. And that allows Westlake to go over to second base in the 2-base error. And that'll bring up Johnny Hopp. And the Reds are starting to really disintegrate. And there's a little fly ball over to Wirostek in left field. He makes the easy play for the out. 1 away, and here's Murray Dickson. The pitcher up there takes the ball. 0 for 5 so far this season, and he's going to be 0 for 6 now as he hits that one to Merriman in center field for the out. 2 away, and here's Pete Castiglione, who takes the ball. And the 0-1 pitch to him is a strike, 1-1. And there's another strike. It's 1-2 now here on Pete. And he rips one to the gap. That's going to score Westlake easily, and he's in there with a double. And 4-0 now Pirates, and here comes Ralph Kiner. And fortunately for the Reds, Kiner just pulls one over to shortstop. Stallcup grabs it and throws to first base, or that could have been another big inning. 4-0 now Pirates, and this game is going in a pretty predictable fashion. 1-1 now the count on Danny Litweiler, and he fouls one back, and the count now is 1-2. And there's one hit over to right center field, and that's an easy play for Junish, center fielder, for the first out. And Grady Hadden up there now takes a ball. And there's a screwball inside for another ball, 2-0 the count. And there's a high fastball, and he swings and misses for a strike, and that one's fouled back. 2-2 now the pitch on Grady Hadden. Curveball is in tight, full count on him now. And there is a controversial play. So there's a pop-up over to Johnny Hopp, the first baseman, who ends up bumping into the first base coach. And that ball falls, and no call is made. There's no interference call or anything like that. And instead, we're going to have to replay, I guess you would say, this full count pitch again. And Grady Hadden up there, and he grounds one this time over to Hopp, and it's fair. And he flips it over to Dickson, covering at the bag for the out. No coach in the way that time, 2 away. And here's Ted Kluszewski. Kluszewski up there gets a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. 2 for 2 today for Ted, the only Red who can hit, and that's not a good sign for the Reds. Virgil Stallcup takes 2 balls now, 2-0 the count. Hits one over to Junis in center field for the out. We go to the top of the 5th, and here's Eddie Bachman. He will take a ball inside there, 1-0 now the count, and he lines one over to the right side. Bloodworth goes up and grabs it for the out, 1 away. Clyde McCulloch now hits one over again to Bloodworth, who clutches and double clutches and able to throw over to Kluszewski in time for the out. 2 outs, and here's Monty Bascal. He'll take a ball low, 1-0 the count, and there's one high, 2-0 now the count on Monty. and there's a strike that he takes 2-1 out of the count, and fouls one back. It's 2-2. Hits one over to Merriman in center field for the third out, and here we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Ray Mueller up there now. There's a screwball at the knees for a strike, 0-1 the count, and there's something off speed in there to him, 0-2. Swung on and missed at this third one, and he strikes out on 3 pitches. Strikeout number 4 for Murray Dickson, who looks really good. Johnny Weirostek now takes a ball and then pops one up for a strike, 1-1 the count. Another one fouled off, 1-2 now. There is a little ground ball over to Bachman, throws over to first for the out, 2 away. Here's Lloyd Merriman, takes a strike, 0-1 the count. There's a ball to him, 1-1 now the count, and that's inside and just misses, and it's a 2-1 count now. And there's one that's a little bit high, 3-1 now the count on Merriman, and he lines that one over to second base. Pascal catches it, throws over to first just in case, but he did catch that on the line. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Wally Jinich up there now. And Wally takes a curveball for a strike. That one curves nicely, has him bailing. And then he fouls one that's in on the hands off and takes strike 3 swinging. I say he takes it. He actually swung at that one. Raffensperger gets his first strikeout, but it may be a little bit too late here. And he saws off Westlake here with the first pitch. That's a little pop-up over to Stallcup, the shortstop, for the out. 2 away, and here's Johnny Hopp, who swings and misses at the first one. 0-1 the count on Johnny. And there's one on the ball, on the ground, over the line, into over first base, into the corner, and Johnny Hopp has a double. And that brings up Murray Dickson here. 2 outs and a runner on second base, and Dickson fouls one back, 0-1, and swings and misses a 1-0-2 now. And they just say that he didn't swing on that one. That's a ball. 1-2 now the count on Dickson. And then he pops one up over there to first base. Ted Klozewski has it for the out. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 4-0 Pirates. The Reds haven't looked like they're doing much of anything in this one. 2-0 now is the count on the pitcher, Raffensperger. And he hits one over to Junich in center field for the first out. And here is Jimmy Bloodworth. Takes a ball, 1-0, and another ball, 2-0 now the count on him. And there's a strike, 2-1 now the count on Bloodworth, and that's a strike to him, 2-2, and that one just misses, a full count on him, and he swings and misses at that one. That's strikeout number 5 for Dickson. Danny Litweiler up there now and takes a pitch high, and there's a breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-1 the count, and that one's way high, 2-1 now the count on Litweiler, and that was high as well, 3-1. And there's a foul ball, a full count again. Let's see if Murray gets him. And no, that's a shot over to right field, and Westlake goes back and gets it for the out. We go to the top of the 7th inning, still 4-0 Pirates. Pete Castiglione now fouls the first pitch off and then hits a chopper over to Haddon at third base, and he gets it in time and throws over to first base for the out, just barely getting him, and that's out number 1 here in the top of the 7th. Here comes Ralph Kiner, who's always dangerous. Kiner with 7 home runs so far this year takes a ball, and he gets, instead of a home run, he gets a little ball that drops right in front of Merriman in center field for a base hit. That is the 9th straight game in which Kiner has hit safely. Here comes Eddie Bachman, now runner on first base, 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning, 4-0 Pirates. He hits a ground ball over to the right side, and Bloodworth has to wait for it, and his throw to first base is too late, unfortunately, and that means that there's runners on at first and second with only 1 out for Clyde McCulloch. He'll take a ball high, 1-0 now the count. He swings late at that one, 1-1, and there's one that's fouled back, 1-2 now the count on McCulloch. There's one inside, 2-2 the count, and that's high and outside, full count now on him. There's one that's lined between first and second base, and that gets through for a single, and Kiner's going to try to score, and we're going to try to stop him here. We're just going to throw home. We're not going to worry about the other runners, and the throw is too high, and that's airmailed over the catcher's head. That allows Bachman to score, and McCulloch ends up at third base after everything is said and done. And I think that's about it for Raffensperger, who's given up 6 runs here in this ball game and hasn't pitched all that well at all. We've got a lot of men here on this bullpen, and that gives you an idea of what kind of team we're dealing with in these Pirates. Harry Gumbert is going to be the pitcher. We're going to put in Gumbert here. We'll just have him bat ninth, and let's see what he can do, if he can stop the bleeding. His second appearance so far this year, and he faces Monty Pascal and gets a strike in there quickly. Runner on third base. We're not worrying about playing anybody in. 1-1 now the count, and that's a line drive over to Merriman in center field that drops in front of him for a base hit, and Monty's driven in another one. 7-0 Pirates in this one. And here's Wally Jinich, who fouls one back off the mask of the catcher. 0-1 to count on him, and there's a ball inside, 1-1. And there's one that gets away, and that's a wild pitch, and it's going to make this inning even longer. There's a foul ball now, 2-2 the count on Junich, and that one's low, full count now on him. And that one's fouled back and fouled off, and nobody can get it, unfortunately. Still a full count. and there's a base hit to left field, and that will send Pascal to third base. Junich has a base hit, and here comes Wally Westlake. Hit number 11 for the Pirates. Everybody's hit except for Dickson. I'm doing a little bit of Dizzy Dean type broadcasting here. We'll just make up our words as we go. We're going to throw to first base here in this swing and this ground ball over to Hatton at third base. And we throw over to first base, allow Hatton to score. It's 8-0 Pirates now as Johnny Hopp comes up there, runner on second base and Junich. And there's one popped up over to center field. Merriman goes over and grabs it for the out. We go to the bottom of the seventh inning. If you thought this was a close one, you got another thing coming. Grady Hatton up there hits a ground ball over to, was that to Pascal? No, it was to Castiglione, the shortstop, who makes the play at first, one away. Kluszewski now, and he hits a base hit to right field, and 3 for 3 for Kluszewski. The problem is the Reds only have 3 hits so far today. Virgil Stallcup up there now with Kluszewski on first base, which is the third time that's happened today. 1-1 the count on Virgil. And he hits a line drive into right center field, and that one will go all the way to the wall, and we are going to send Kluszewski home, and we'll see if we can make the score a little bit more respectable. Kluszewski is able to score there on Stallcup's double, and that makes the score 8-1. So there is a chance. You're saying there's a chance, huh? Ray Mueller up there, and he takes the ball. Another ball outside, 2-0 the count. And there's one that's popped up over to Kiner in left field, and he squeezes it for the out, 2 away, and here's Johnny Wirostek. Wirostek hits one over to center field, and Junich is there to make the catch, and you can forget about all that shouting. And it's 8-1 now, Pirates, as Dickson comes up here. Dickson, the only Pirate not to have a base hit, and he promptly hits a little blooper pop up to Bloodworth, the second baseman, for the first out. And here comes Pete Castiglione, who takes the ball. And there's one high, 2-0 now the count on Pete. And there's a little fly ball over to Merriman in center field for the second out. And here comes Kiner, and he fouls one off. Kiner 1 for 3 today. 1-1 now the count on Ralph. That's a pitch that's close, but too far inside. 2-1 now. And that's fouled back, 2-2. And there's a little ground ball over to Bloodworth at second base. Throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Fast-paced game. Here's Lloyd Merriman now, and he takes the strike. 0-1 the count. There's one low. 1-1 now the count. And there's one in the outside corner for a strike. It's a 1-2 count, and there's a screwball inside, 2-2. That was a good pitch, but just too far inside. And there's one that's low and away, 3-2 now the count. And there's a ground ball over to Pascal, the second baseman, throws over to first for the first out. And here comes Harry Gumbert. We'll just go ahead and leave him in, might as well. And he swings and misses, 0-2 the count on him now. There's one that's popped foul, 0-2 still. And there's a screwball that's away, 1-2 now the count. And he fouls another one into the stands, still 1-2, and Dickson gets him with the strikeout. 6 strikeouts here from Murray. And Jimmy Bloodworth now swings and misses. 0-1 the count on him. That's inside. 1-1 now, and he swings and misses again. It's 1-2. And there's a high fly ball over to center field. Junich is there to make the catch. I mean, it's one thing to say that the Pirates are dominating this game, right? But, I mean, they're dominating this game to an extent that the Reds haven't had anything close to a base hit with the exception of the 7th inning. And there were only 2 hits in that inning. Eddie Bachman up there now with the 2-0 count, and he grounds one over to Hatton at third base, throws to first for the out, and here comes Clyde McCulloch, who takes the ball. There's a little ground ball over to Bloodworth at second. He throws to first for the out, 2 away. Monty Pascal up there now, and he'll hit one over to Stallcup, who throws to first for the out, and we go to the bottom of the 9th inning just like that. Fast-paced game, like I said. Danny Litweiler now, and the Reds are running out of chances. The count on him is 1-1. And there's a ball, 2-1 now the count. There's a ground ball up the middle for a base hit, and that's only the 3rd Red to get a hit in this game, only hit number 5. That brings up Grady Hatton. And Litweiler, of course, is not very fast, so the double play will be in order here. And there's a little ground ball over to Hopp, and his throw over to the shortstop, Castiglione, is high, but Castiglione does get that force out. And so that means Hatton's on at first base now after the fielder's choice. And here's Ted Kluszewski, who's 3 for 3. A chance to get another base hit, and this one takes a ball, and another ball, 2-0 now. And he fouls one off. It's 2-1 now is the count on Ted. And there's a ground ball over to Castiglione, and he makes the easy play over to Pascal for 1. They're looking for the double play, but Kluszewski just able to beat it out. And that's pretty good for people like me who are worried about too many double plays here in 1949. We need a couple more of these to be beaten out. Get those stats right. Here's Virgil Stallcup, and he takes a strike. 0-1 the count. And there's a screwball over the middle of the plate, 0-2. Middle of the plate's not where you want to throw the screwball. 1-2 now the count on him. And there's one that's fouled back again, still 1-2. That's off the plate, 2-2 now, and that swung on a missed, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 7 from Murray Dickson. That's the way this one ends, 8-1 Pirates. Maybe this wasn't the most exciting game in the world, but I hope that you enjoyed it. I'll have another one for you tomorrow, and we'll have game 2 of this series, not tomorrow, but the day after. We'll see you then. Bye.